I am 74 years old. Before, climbing stairs 2 steps at a time, pushing a bag of rice, carrying a tray of food, going to the market by bicycle for several kilometers did not feel tiring. At that time, I thought I was hard as steel. But then time came, gently but cruelly. Now, just getting out of bed, I have to hold on to the edge of a chair. Standing up slowly, my legs are shaking. I have to take a deep breath before continuing. Some days, after walking a few steps, I suddenly feel out of breath. My knees are sore. I have to sit down in the middle of the hallway, breathing. I used to think, I must be old. Who doesn't feel that way? Just bear with it a little bit. But then, the scene repeated every morning. Sitting up with a dizzy head, cold feet. Going out to the yard but not reaching the gate before turning back. Wanting to carry a tray of food, but my hands are shaking slightly, also makes me afraid. Not afraid of dying, but afraid of having to live without being able to do anything for myself. Afraid that one day my son would have to help me walk to feed me. Afraid of my wife's sad eyes when she saw me confused because I couldn't put on my shirt. My son silently looked at me for a whole week. He didn't say anything. Then one day, he sat down next to me, looked straight into my eyes and said, "Dad, I don't want you to live by depending on others." The sentence was short, but like a punch to self-respect, to gratitude, to father-son love. I was silent, and he started, little by little. No medicine, no forcing me to go to the gym, no buying a bunch of supplements. He only changed small things. For breakfast, replace white porridge with boiled eggs and nut milk. Let me stand up, sit down 10 times every morning, smile without yelling. After bathing, he told me, "Dad, try to rinse the last 30 seconds with cold water. At night, pull me out to the yard to breathe, sit, and listen to music. Don't let me hug the phone. It doesn't talk much. Just do it quietly, like the way I used to take care of it when I was little." I am 74 years old, no longer the strongest person in the house. But thanks to my son, I understand. Staying healthy doesn't need to be a big deal. Just need someone beside you to really pay attention. My son doesn't need to be a doctor. He just needs to know how to observe and love me properly. If you have elderly parents, don't wait for them to speak up. Pay attention. Ask. And start with a small change before it's too late. Because getting out of bed every morning is not a luxury. It's a sign of dignity, which old age really needs to preserve. The first day, he told me a sentence. "Dad, after you finish bathing, remember to use cold water for the last 30 seconds. I looked at him, eyes wide open, and laughed. "It's so cold." But he just smiled. "Dad, try it. I'm here." I tried. The first time. As soon as I turned on the faucet, I shivered. It felt like thousands of small needles were pricking my skin. But I endured it because his words still echoed in my head. Get used to it. Each time for 10 seconds. Then 20. Then 30. Every morning, I closed my eyes, clenched my fists, breathed heavily, and poured cold water on my body. It sounded crazy. But then, I started to feel my body more awake. My eyes opened, no longer sluggish. My body was no longer limp. Especially, that night I slept very deeply. I didn't turn over, didn't wake up, didn't have dreams. Waking up in the morning, my body was as light as a cloud. My legs walked out into the yard, felt firm, not shaking. I asked him, "Where did this trick come from?" He laughed and said, "It's called hormetic stress. Just understand it simply. Endure a little light pressure so that the body learns to bounce back. Like a tree exposed to wind, its roots will grow deeper." I didn't understand the words hormetic or mitochondria that he said. But I understood the feeling. My body was coming back to life. Every vein, every muscle, just from a cold shower every morning. There are things that sound so small, but if we don't start, we will never know. Strength, sometimes without medicine. Just a timely cold shower to awaken a body that has fallen asleep due to age. Before, I ate enough. In the morning, I ate bread, sometimes white porridge with soy sauce. At noon, I ate less because my stomach was full from morning. In the evening, I ate everything, a whole meal of fish soup and meat, eating a lot and thinking that it would make up for the whole day. I kept thinking, as long as I eat enough calories, it's fine. Unexpectedly, the more I ate, the more tired I became. I often had cramps at night, and my legs became weaker when I walked. One day, my son said, "If you eat like this, your muscles will not have the raw materials to repair themselves." After 60 years old, the body absorbs protein less well, so you have to divide protein evenly across all 3 meals, not all in the evening. I opened my eyes wide. Does protein have to be divided by time? He did not explain at length. He quietly changed my meals little by little. Morning: 2 boiled eggs plus 1 cup of unsweetened soy milk. Lunch: steamed fish, tofu, some brown rice. Dinner: a bowl of chicken and mushroom soup with soft vegetables. No steak, not fancy food, just moderate amounts. At first, I didn't pay much attention. But after only 2 weeks, I was startled to realize: no more night cramps, less neck pain in the morning, less numbness in the legs. And the strangest thing, I no longer felt weak every afternoon. I no longer ate to fight hunger. I started eating to nourish my body. Eat to have the strength to walk, to keep my feet steady without relying on a cane or another person. If you're this age, or have a parent like me, don't wait until your loved one is losing muscle to seek medication. Start with breakfast tomorrow, with an egg, a glass of milk, and a child to take care of you. Because sometimes a spoonful of protein at the right time is what helps you maintain independence as you age. At that time, I went for a routine checkup. The doctor looked at the blood results and frowned. "You have a severe vitamin D deficiency." I smiled wryly. "What vitamin is so important, doctor?" He just shook his head. "Without it, muscles are weak, bones age quickly, and the most dangerous thing is falling easily." I went home and told my son. The next day, he immediately bought me a bottle of 2,000 IU vitamin D3. Every morning after eating, he gave me 1 pill with a glass of warm water. Then he took me out to the yard and said, "Dad, just sit here with me for 15 minutes. The morning sun at 9 a.m. is best." I grumbled, "The sun is too bright." He smiled. "This sun doesn't make you dark, it only makes you healthy." I just followed it. Every morning, 1 small pill, 15 minutes in the yard. Some days it rained. He opened the window to let the sunlight into the room. Some days he forgot. He gently reminded, "Dad, you haven't gone out to sunbathe today." I thought vitamin D was only for bones, to prevent osteoporosis, to prevent fractures when falling. But then, after only a few weeks, I saw my arms were stronger, carrying the shopping bag no longer shook. My legs were no longer weak after walking. I climbed a few stairs without needing to hold on. I breathed more deeply, not out of breath even after walking for a long time in the yard. And most importantly, I felt my body come back to life. I don't believe in supplements, but now I believe in the right dose, the right time, the right way. A small pill, a little morning sunlight, it seems like nothing, but it's enough to keep an old person like me strong for another day. If you have elderly parents, try asking them if they have sunbathed today. Because of love, compassion is not about having enough medicine, but reminding them to sit in the morning sun just for a few minutes to keep the vitality inside. I used to stay up late at night. 11 a.m., 12 a.m. still holding my phone, checking the news, listening to music, sometimes just to kill time. The older I get, the less I sleep. I used to think so. I also got used to tossing and turning, waking up at 3 a.m. and not being able to fall back asleep. I'm old, who doesn't? I told myself. But then, my son started to notice. He saw my sunken eyes, yawning in the morning. One day, I muttered, "Why am I still so tired after sleeping?" And he started to change for me, very gently. Every night at exactly 10 p.m., he turned off all the lights in the room, leaving only a soft yellow glow in the corner of the room. He made me a cup of warm herbal tea. Sometimes it was chamomile, sometimes it was mint or goji berries. Then he turned on the diffuser with light essential oils. The scent of lavender was gentle and pleasant. No pressure. No, you have to sleep now. Just creating a space so I can feel myself being lulled to sleep. And strangely enough, I fall asleep faster. I sleep more deeply. Waking up in the morning, my neck and shoulders are no longer sore like before. My body no longer feels heavy as a rock. Muscle fatigue, joint pain, significantly reduced. I told my son, "I find it strange, sleeping well without taking any pills." He just smiled. Because my body is recovering in the most natural way, sleep. Now I understand. Deep sleep is not just for resting, but it is when the body repairs itself, recovers itself, and soothes the silent wounds inside. No need for sedatives. No need for long sleep like young people. Just get enough sleep on time and in peace. If you have elderly parents, don't think sleeping little is normal. Try helping them sleep better with soft lighting, a warm cup of tea, and a gentle presence. Because sometimes the best recovery from old age doesn't come from medicine, but from a night of restful sleep surrounded by love. Instead of telling me to walk around the yard like my friends, my son chose another way, smarter and more fun. He didn't make me count my steps. He didn't remind me to walk for 15 minutes every morning. He invited me to play table tennis. Just a folding table in the corner of the yard, a light plastic racket, and a few small balls. "Dad, just block a few balls and that's enough," he said, as if he was asking me to play, not practice. I did. At first, my hands were shaking, my eyes were blurry, and I kept missing the ball. I laughed and he laughed too, but I still played. I played every morning, 5-10 minutes without pressure. Then I realized my hands were faster. My eyes followed the ball better. Each block was no longer offbeat, but rhythmic like when I was young. Then he added another exercise for me. "Dad, try sitting down and standing up 10 times every morning without holding onto a chair. Stand slowly, breathe evenly, don't strain." At first, I shook my head. "Your knees are weak." But he still stood beside me, patting my shoulder. "I'm here, try it." I tried. At first, my calves shook, my joints made cracking noises. But after only 2 weeks, I sat down, stood up smoothly. No holding on, no swaying, no fatigue. He also taught me how to do box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. I laughed. "Do you even need to count your breaths?" But I tried. Every morning before eating, I sat up straight, closed my eyes, and breathed rhythmically. Strangely, I felt lighter. My head felt more awake than when I drank coffee. My mind was clear. My eyes were no longer sore and tired like before. I never expected that just a few minutes of brain-hand-foot-breath coordination could bring my whole body back to myself. No need to run. No need to go to the gym. Just reconnect with your body through movement, through breathing, through a small ball. If you have elderly parents, don't rush to force them to exercise properly. Invite them to play a fun game, catch a ball, sit down and stand up with them every morning. Because sometimes, a little coordination between the brain and hands is also a silent way to help your parents maintain their clarity, steadiness, and joy of life. I used to think lifting weights was for kids, the time when young people were interested in health, beauty, and showing off. As for me, 74 years old, gray hair, hunched back, sore knees, weights were just a distant memory to me. Until my son handed me a resistance band. He didn't say much, just gently said, "Dad, try to pull lightly, no need to do anything heavy. Just let your body remember how strong it used to be." I started trying. Pull the resistance band. Slow, steady, no pressure. Sit down, stand up. Put your hands on your thighs for support. Plank with knees. Hold for a few seconds each time. Light bench press, like you're practicing to strengthen your back and legs. Not much. Just 2 sessions a week. 20 minutes each time. But 20 minutes and I no longer feel left behind. The first week, my legs were shaking. The second week, I was less tired. By the third week, I was standing without putting my hands on my knees. By the 6th week, I was squatting down to pick up something that had fallen and standing up. Quickly, neatly, without anyone helping me. That's when I realized. Backhand index pointing right, my body doesn't need to be rejuvenated. It needs to be reactivated at the right time in the right way. No need for heavy weights. No need for a gym. Just a patient child. Just someone who sees me, not as an old person, but as someone who can still get stronger. If you're taking care of your parents, backhand index pointing right, don't think they're old. Let's leave them alone. Backhand index pointing right, start with a light exercise, a resistance band, and a trusting look. Because maybe what keeps them going isn't a stick, it's your hand on their shoulder every time they stand up. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist or a trainer. I'm just an old man. Lucky to have a child who knows how to pay attention, knows how to learn, and knows how to quietly change every little thing for me. I used to think living long is enough. But now I understand living healthy is the real gift. I don't want to live to 100 to lie in one place. To have someone feed me every meal, to have someone support me every step. I just want to be able to wake up early at 70, to be able to hold a bowl of rice at 75, to be able to wipe the dining table by myself at 80. And if the weather is nice, I can still climb a few steps to the garden to water the plants without gasping for breath. I know I'm not the only one who wishes for that. If you're reading this, you're probably thinking about yourself, or thinking about your father or mother at home who silently endures fatigue every day. I just want to say this. Just one little thing every day. A light exercise, a meal with enough protein, a deep sleep, a breathing rhythm, and a child enough to pay attention. Old age does not need miracles. No magic pills, no breakthroughs. Old age only needs small things, but right. And if you, the person watching this video, choose to do something today, for yourself or for someone you love, then I believe that is already the most precious start.